The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. For the best in below-the-waist grooming, visit manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF for 20% off. That is manscaped.com. So every year, I'm like, I'm going to get her something nice for Mother's Day. I'm going to make it a big deal. And every year, she's like, you didn't have to get me anything. And it kind of like, no, don't get me anything. You don't have to, I don't like gifts, whatever. Okay, so after 7 years of this, I didn't get her anything.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Well, it probably would have been better had I not gotten her anything. I come home from work in a shopping bag from the resort that I work at. And I'm like, Happy Mother's Day. And she looks at me. And this is why I'm confused, because every year, don't worry about it. You don't have to get me anything. You shouldn't have done this, blah, blah, blah. This year, I give her the bag and she goes, oh, you remembered. Nice wrapping.
What'd you get her? What was in the bag?
It was a shirt that said Snack Mom.
I don't know which part's worse, Scott.
Broadcasting from the Sandpiper Vacation Studios. It's time for the No New Friends podcast. The podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. The good, the bad, and the funny.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's showtime. It's showtime.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on all of our social media, all of our links are right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, you can check out our really sweet merchandise and become a friend with benefits. Join our clubhouse and be able to watch these things as we record them live. The entire episode, see all the shenanigans, see all the cutting room floor, hear all the cutting room floor. You don't want to miss that. You can also email us, nonewfriendspodcast@yahoo.com. If you'd like to leave us a voicemail, 407-906-0543, but you only have about 3 minutes, so get to the damn point. Don't forget to nominate us for Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition under the category Local Notables, Best Local Podcast, and also Best Local Big Shop That's Not a Politician, Mary Reedy. My name is Scott. I am the host. With me, my co-host, the queen of forgetting segments, Mary.
What? Mary.
I'll explain later. Everybody's favorite food truck critic, Sarah.
Hello.
Our producer, Alex.
Producer and history guy.
And Yabba the Hutt himself, our scumbag reselling hoarder, Chris.
I once shot an elephant in my pajamas. How he got into my pajamas, I'll never know.
Mary Poppins. No.
Close.
It's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
No, you were very close. It's Groucho Marx in the movie Animal Crackers. Now, Scott, I knew you were old, but I didn't realize Groucho Marx wrote a joke about you in the 30s.
It is re-quoted
All right, so-
in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, is it really? Well, thank you to the sophisticated gentleman for the submission.
So, Mary, real quick before we get to the stuff that I want to talk about. In the last episode 150, Ryan did a brilliant Jersey Man, Florida Man. And you were so excited because you've never been the butt of the joke before, according to you, correct?
I mean...
You're like, I've never been the butt of the joke before.
Well, not when he calls in, no. Like, when... Not on that segment.
For Jersey Man, Florida Man? He literally was broadcasting the news from the hermit crab funeral and also the world's worst daycare. So this is actually the third.
No, but like that was a lot more than just like a mention here and there. Also, how dare you even say that I can't remember or I forget segments? Sir, you forgot how to talk in the first 3 seconds of recording. So
listen, this job is not easy.
Somewhere else.
This job, you know what? You can host the next episode and see if you get tongue-tied.
You'll be lucky if I show up, sir.
That's true.
It's my birthday episode. I think I get to host.
Wait, is it your birthday episode next week?
I don't know. I lost track. My birthday's on the 30th, so
yes, I think it is. So you may have to host again. We remember all the bad things that came out of that episode.
I tried not to.
So we kind of had a double dose. We double booked ourselves in life. Last week it was episode 150, so we had James Yawn on. It also should have been our Mother's Day episode. So I put a little Happy Mother's Day blip on the end. So this is going to kind of
we feel really celebrated, Scott. Thank you so much.
Listen, Father's Day we do this whole grand thing. Mother's Day we're going to do like 80% of that. It's fine.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
So Sarah, Mary, Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
Ditto.
really hoping you guys would like make a handmade card or something. I don't know.
I made you a Handmaid's Tale card.
I thought, it's pretty on theme right now.
So what'd you guys do? Mary, you probably brunched it up.
No, I didn't. I did not.
Really?
I didn't. No, the boys have been really clingy lately, so they woke me up at like 6 something, which
Lately?
was fine. I mean, yeah, I know. So we hung out. I didn't really do a whole lot though. Like that was what I wanted, was to do nothing. And that was perfect. I am still like getting over being sick, so I just was horizontal a lot. Yeah.
I love how you say you're getting over being sick. That's like every day you're still getting over being sick. That doesn't end.
I was like real sick. I got some nice gifts and I got some gluten-free cupcakes, so that was cool.
Oh, nice. So is that your ideal Mother's Day, is just be left alone, lay down? What's kind of your ideal Mother's Day gift?
Mother's Day gift?
Yeah.
Mike Reedy did a really nice job. Well, I mean, the kids did a really nice job. I'm sure they picked everything out. He got me a sweater that says "Murder Shows and Comfy Clothes," which is pretty much ideal. And then he got me a new cup for work and school. I'm just kidding. I don't have a job. And then
neither does Chris. That's why he's drinking out of a reusable plastic cup.
Yeah.
Reusable.
It works.
That looks
It's functional.
Like a disposable one. Yeah.
Anything's reusable if you try hard enough, Mary.
It's true.
Except for condoms.
No, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah, you just turn that thing inside out. It's good for at least 2 uses.
Is it like your shorts that you wear, Scott?
Yeah, exactly.
Just
turn it inside out. It's fine.
As far as activities, though, I love that, like, some moms are like, yeah, I don't want my kids anywhere near me, because I kind of feel like that a little bit, but I do want them near me, but when I want them around me. Does that make sense?
On your terms.
So I'm like,
yeah, you're like a cat.
Yeah.
You're like a cat.
Exactly.
It's like, show me affection, but on my terms.
Right. And it's the one day a year where I can be like, see yourself out. Leave me be, children.
Right.
And they're like, okay, fine, Mom. But they're so cute.
Just today.
Too. Basically, like, Grayson woke up and he's like, "Happy Mother's Day," and it's real cute. Tries to make me a cup of coffee. Wait till they're not looking and like dump it down the sink and make my own, because I don't know what that kid put in there. He's probably after some life insurance money. Yeah, it was nice. I did what I wanted to do. It's great.
Nice. Now, Sarah, what happened? You're a bonus mom. So what happens in your house? Did the girls get you gifts? Like what? Because I have a point. I'm going to land the plane eventually. But what goes on in your house for Mother's Day?
Well, typically the girls are with their mom on Mother's Day. We saw them very briefly in the morning, but the night before, Jordan made me a cute little card and wrote Sophia's name on it. So she made sure to cover the bases, so it was from both kids. But it's hanging up on the fridge, so she really went all out on that. But no, I mean, I worked all day, so restaurant industry on Mother's Day is no joke.
Sarah, we set an all-time record for highest sales day ever on this past Mother's Day. Like, it was insane. Like, there is no recession. This is just liberal propaganda. There is no recession.
Thank you.
Like, everything's fine. The economy is fine. And I know this because Mother's Day, they were big spenders.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We had some, we were very busy. We were crazy. So I was there pretty much all day. And then we made the rounds to my in-laws and Lewis's grandmother and came back home late and just mimosa and relax.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Not to spend a whole lot of time on restaurants, but this year just annoyed me. So, Sarah, did you run into this where people just camp? They camp there the entire for super long. Yeah, same thing for us. Like, we were booked almost to capacity. In fact, we were booked higher than Easter. But Easter, people were respectful of the restaurant etiquette. They ate and they left. Perfect. We had 2 Top staying for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And like, we need to turn the tables. It's a smaller restaurant. It's like, come on.
Yep. We had the same exact thing happening. And we had the endless mimosas. So, people were sitting there and it was buffet style. So, they could just sit there and eat and drink as long as they wanted. But sometimes I don't mind because, it gets so crazy that I'm like, you know what? I don't want to fit another person in here to deal with.
Right. Let me just love the one that I'm with.
Right.
So, Chris, you don't have any kids yet, but you've got pets.
Yeah.
So
man, are you interested in my dog? Why are you asking? Where's this going? Where's this going?
So, Chris, you've got pets.
Yes, Scott. So I think where you're going with this is yes. So yes, I am morally obligated to get my wife a gift because she is a dog mom. So I gave her a listen, it was on sale. I have 2 weeks because she does listen to this podcast. I have 2 weeks until she hears this. So it'll be a good 2 weeks though. I got her a 3-wick candle at Bath and Body Works, $12.95. If you're listening to this, the sale's over, guys. You lost. Vanilla bean, her favorite fragrance, right? Now, the reason I'm saying this, the reason I'm talking about how much it was, $12.95, it was on sale, because listen, she's a dog mom. I can't set the bar too high. Made that mistake way too many times in the past. So for now, it's a candle. When she's a real mom, oh gosh, I shouldn't say real mom. When she's a mother to our children, Alex, cut that. When she's a mother to our children, she's, and I know there's a screen behind me, but Emily's not asleep yet. There's a gun held to my head.
Yabba the Hot has a knife ready to come in.
And so I set the bar pretty low because guess what? When I get something for $40 when she's a mother of our children, I'm gonna look like a superstar, right?
Yeah,
I go from candle to like slippers. Come on, she likes slippers. She's a slipper gal.
Okay,
big slipper gal.
All right.
Yeah.
So let me tell you guys what happened here in this house. No. I worked. I was exhausted. I was ready. I pretty much went to sleep at about 6 p.m. Okay.
That sounds like a great day for Rachel.
Every year. So Rachel is not my kid's biological mom. She's the bonus mom to my kids. From her previous marriage, she called herself the fake mom because that's what her asshole ex-husband called her. But we don't have to go down that road. So every year, I'm like, I'm going to get her something nice for Mother's Day. I'm going to make it a big deal. And every year, she's like, you didn't have to get me anything. And kind of like, no, don't get me anything. You don't have to, I don't like gifts, whatever. Okay, so after 7 years of this, I didn't get her anything.
Oh my God.
It probably would have been better had I not gotten her anything. I come home from work in a shopping bag from the resort that I work at. And I'm like, Happy Mother's Day. And she looks at me. And this is why I'm confused, because every year, don't worry about it. You don't have to get me anything. You shouldn't have done this, blah, blah, blah. This year I give her the bag and she goes, oh, you remembered. Nice wrapping.
What'd you get her? What was in the bag?
It was a shirt that said Snack Mom.
I don't know which parts were, Scott.
But it was a really cute shirt, and it just didn't go over very well. And I don't know if she was just in a mood that day.
Did you pick it up while you were at work?
That day.
Did you decide you were getting it that day?
No, I decided I was going to get it like when the line first came out. I was like, oh, I'm going to get this for her for Mother's Day, but I didn't get it until that day.
Think that a gift bag, maybe?
It wasn't a gift bag. It's a decorative plastic disposable bag.
No, if it looks cute, it's wrapped.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have a hard time throwing those bags out because, they're cute.
Okay.
So,
all right,
ladies, I need Sarah, especially advice. Please help me out.
I don't know the snack mom thing implies something to me, Oh,
maybe does it?
A little bit. Maybe not.
See, I didn't.
Like that she's responsible for feeding everyone. She's responsible
or
for
that
the
she
snacks.
likes to eat a lot.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. See, I'm going with,
oh, wow.
like, yeah, you're just implying that she's going to do all the work and, like, take care of the kids and give them snacks. And Sarah's like, you called her fat.
Oh.
I actually got a few Snack Mom shirts this past week.
So with this, I guess this is maybe the equivalent of getting her like a scale for, her birthday or something, like a decorative scale. It's the same, it sends the same message. Is that what you're saying?
Does the Snack Mom line also have scales? Because it sounds like you're like, it's a cute line. I love it. What?
It's a matching scale.
There should have been a gift box or something. At least.
Yeah.
At least.
So was the little bit the tone that I got from her, was that from the lack of gift box and it looked thrown together, or like?
Yeah.
Because,
Yes.
again, I'm very confused. Every year it's don't do anything. You don't need to do anything.
Don't ever
And so-
listen to that. No, do it anyways.
Okay. Well, for F's sakes, like you ladies just can't be honest with
Okay,
us. Like, yes, I want a
I-
Mother's Day gift. Like,
Listen, okay. Do you get birthday cards from your parents still? And you
Yes.
still like open it because you know sweet cash is going to fall out, and every year you're like, oh, you shouldn't
Mary,
have, but really you're like, yes.
no, they don't
You
give me
know?
cash anymore. They don't. They no, I don't need it.
Oh, well, that's true. I forgot. You're also, I mean,
But
you're
yes,
pretty close to
yes.
retirement too.
Let me tell you though, I gotta, Mary, you bring up a good point. When you open up the cards with the money, that is one of the most embarrassing and awkward things ever, because I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Do you read it?
I
Like, what do
take
you-
it.
Well, of course you
what?
take it. Yes.
She's like, and I'll take yours too.
Yeah. She doesn't say that you shouldn't have. She's like, maybe a little bit more next year. Okay.
Write it down in the book.
Yeah, Sarah gets out her birthday card ledger, and she's like, okay,
Yeah.
Aunt Susie, only $30 this year.
I'll remember that, Aunt Susie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always like, I open the card and then I don't care to read cards, but I read it anyway because I don't want to be like, oh, you left me cash. Like, I don't want to, and I'm always like, I pretend like I didn't notice it. Like, it's right there in the card, but I'm like reading it and I'm like, oh, hey, thanks. You shouldn't
wow.
have.
I try to not open cards in front of people because I can't hide my face.
It's terrible.
I hate when they insist, like, "Oh, open it. We still have the rest of dinner." Yeah,
And you're like, really? You sure?
They're like really proud of the card that they picked out,
yeah. Thank you for the $14, Meemaw. Like, is this really why you wanted me to open this so early?
I actually keep all
you
my
have to
cards.
write a check
though.
for $14.
I do.
Me too.
I-
It's a
I keep
problem.
all of
It's a
them.
Why do
problem.
we do that?
Well,
I hate it.
I have some.
I hate that I keep them.
I have some from people that I don't see anymore or who aren't with me anymore, and it's just kind of nice to go back and look at them sometimes.
Sarah, piggybacking off of that, isn't it kind of morbid that when we get a card from an older person, we're like, I got to keep this one
It
just in
might be
case
the
it's the
last
last.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's get-
Well, actually, that's funny because my grandmother gave me one that she was like, "This is out of my mother's stationery," and I still had some, and it's a beautiful, beautiful card, and it's handmade, and I had to keep it,
Wow.
and
Wow.
so
You
I
can't.
have
Even
that.
if it's the second to last one you get, you have to keep it.
I even keep the ones that say like "Love Mom." Some of them have like those really long, heartfelt messages in them. Some of them just say
Yeah.
"Here you go, love Mom." It's like I keep
Right.
those too.
And I still keep them. Yeah, regardless. I have a drawer full of them.
It had a smudge of Anne Frank's phone number on the top.
Oh my gosh. Do you still get checks from like your older family members? Sometimes my Grams will send me a check and I'm like, Grams, this isn't worth the trip to the bank. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not going to the bank. This is gonna expire in my drawer.
No, I haven't received a check in. Well, that's not true. My mom will send me checks for like if we.
I thought your parents didn't send you any money. You
No,
don't need it.
so if we buy tickets to like in my wallet right now, Mom. Oh God.
Alex got it.
We went to Wicked. We went to Wicked. We fronted all the money and all that, and I still have the check in my wallet. This was like 6 years ago that we went, so like the check's not good anymore. But like a lot of times they do that. Although my parents, especially my dad, is now learning how to use Venmo and Cash App. So the checks are a little bit less and less. I used to write a lot of checks, but that was because like my bank account was at zero, and I'm like, okay, don't cash this till Friday, and then you can have your gift.
I always tell my employees that when I write them checks, please don't cash it till tomorrow. They look so worried. I'm like, no, seriously, that was a joke. That was a joke. Probably not a great joke to
Not a
to
great
give as an
payroll joke.
employer.
No.
Mm-mm.
The word history comes from ancient Greece, first used by Aristotle. Historians seek knowledge of the past using historical sources. I use Google. This is The Hiz with Alex. Before we get any further in segment 1, I wanted to bring up some history for Mother's Day. But before I do that, I wanted to do a quick story for Mother's Day. My wife told me not to buy her anything, but I won a gift card at my work. I work at a school, and they had a drawing, and I won one. And it was an Amazon gift card, so I went ahead and bought her a gift anyways, had it shipped to school, and then I brought it home, gave it to her for Mother's Day. Totally didn't expect anything for a gift. Told me to get her nothing, Scott. And I got her something instead. She watches all our finances, so being able to get it without her even knowing was amazing. But to the history on Mother's Day. Modern Mother's Day was first celebrated in 1907 when Anna Jarvis held Mother's Day service worship at Andrew Methodist Church in Grafton, West Virginia. Her campaign to make Mother's Day recognized as a national holiday began in 1905, the year her mother passed away. In 1908, the U.S. Congress rejected a proposal for Mother's Day, joking that they would have to proclaim a Mothers-in-Law Day. By 1911, due to Anna Jarvis's hard work, all the U.S. states observed the holiday. In 1914, Woodrow Wilson signed a proclamation designating Mother's Day would be held on the second Sunday in May. But later, Anna Jarvis became resentful of the commercialization of the holiday. Jarvis believed that the companies were exploiting the holiday for financial gain. She organized boycotts of Mother's Day. She even protested a candy makers convention in Philadelphia in 1923. Mother's Day is held in other countries. It is called Mothering Sunday in the United Kingdom, and other countries have chosen to celebrate it on different days. Some countries like Russia, Ukraine, and Kyrgyzstan celebrate International Women's Day.
We didn't do something for the 150th that we were supposed to do, and that was kind of a Patreon appreciation for a free No New Friends shirt. So what's going to happen is we're going to do this duck race. If you're watching us on Twitch, you'll be able to see the duck race. Just, kind of stealing a page off of... I'm stealing a page from Remy's Roundtable, which steals stuff from us, but I'm stealing stuff from Diz's. So I'm copying Remy by stealing me by stealing from Diz's. Anyway.
Remy did a duck race?
No, not a duck race, just stealing ideas. It's fine.
I gotcha.
So now we're going to do this duck race. So if you win, and you have to be a Patreon member to be in the duck race, and we're going to do this every so often. So if you win, email me, no new friends podcast at yahoo.com, your shirt size and which shirt from our merch line you want. And I will send, and your size, address, social security number, mother's maiden name, and then which shirt you want.
Don't forget high school mascot in the.
Oh yeah, high school mascot.
Yes.
Yep, favorite
You
pet.
put that in the subject.
Yeah. Perfect. Which shirts?
By the way, we do have a new Yabba the Hutt shirt, which I'm very proud of.
I know that Yabba the Hutt shirt is badass.
It's a nice shirt. That's a nice
I love
shirt.
it.
Yeah, it's on its way. I just got the notification. It's on its way today. So I will be sporting that hopefully next week. But on that note, duck race?
Yeah, duck race, and we'll do this. I don't know, maybe once a month, once every couple months. So,
all right. You want me to read out the list?
Yeah, we're not going to see it on Riverside, but it is on Twitch right now.
All right. So we have Chuck. We have Don't Wreck Yourself Ryan. We have Tara. We have New Ryan. We have Luis. We have Old As Shit Ryan. We have Anthony. We have Dane. We have Remy. We have Mark. We have Autumn. And we have Joe.
I'm so excited.
This list. I'll get your shirt if you want one. You're not winning one. All right. 30 seconds on the clock. Oh, all right. Mary, give me a number 1 through 7.
7.
He hates that.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shuffled 7 times. Sarah, make your best impression of a gunshot.
Oh no.
Boom! That's perfect. And we are off.
Oh no.
It's a pretty good impression of somebody getting a gun pulled on them. All right.
Yeah.
So on my end, we've got Mark off to an early lead. Again, there's a delay because I'm
but
watching
you
on
don't wanna-
Twitch.
Listen, no, you do not want an early lead in the duck race. It's always someone that comes from behind.
Oh, here comes Don't Wreck Yourself, Ryan.
Much like Nick from Sandpiper. Always comes from behind. So, all right, we have this
Lewis.
blue guy coming up. Anthony is.
Oh, here comes
killing it.
Joe.
Anthony, wow,
wearing a mask.
Anthony,
and he's got the
huge
longest
beak.
nose. Anthony's got the longest nose, and it was Anthony.
I feel like it's a little cheating. I feel like it's kind of cheating.
I know he's got that
But
long
we're gonna
nose.
give it to you. We're gonna give it to you. That's a very long beak.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Anthony comes in first. Joe in second, and Chuck in third. Joe and Chuck, maybe next time.
So
You're that close, Joe.
Ryan says it's a Jewish duck. So Anthony, Email me, no new friends podcast at yahoo.com. Let me know your shirt size, your address, and which shirt you want. Just check out our merch line, tpublic.com/user/NNF, or just check out our website and click on the TeePublic logo. Go look through all of it and let me know which shirt you want.
And maybe tell us how you're doing. We haven't talked in a long time. I'm trying to get close with our Patreon members, Scott.
Yeah.
You're just trying to be like, hey, just give me your shirt size. I want to know how they're doing.
Yeah, let us know how you're doing. All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Psst. Hey, you. You want to join a cult? Well, this might be your lucky day. For just $2 a month and a simple blood oath, you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. In addition to the amazing feeling of donating to the poor, you will have access to Patreon-exclusive content, live shows, and maybe even a behind-the-scenes look at my secret stash. To get started, head on over to nonewfriendspodcast.com and hit join our clubhouse. Can't wait to see you at the initiation ceremony. Oh, and in the chat during our live shows, of course.
If you'd like to hear all of our episodes, all of our past episodes, just visit our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links to all of our old episodes are there. If you didn't understand an inside joke or just wanted to re-listen to something, just check it out. It's nonewfriendspodcast.com, or you can check us out on all streaming platforms.
Hi, this is Bruce Valanche, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. Unless they look like Matt LeBlanc in the early days, he could be my friend.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. As a reminder, please nominate us for Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition under the category Local Notables, Best Local Podcast, and then also Mary Reedy for Best Local Big Shot that's not a politician. I don't really know what that award means, but it would be cool if she won it. Usually like someone from Real Radio wins, either Savannah or Russ, but just to be in the same conversation would be pretty damn cool. And this would be Mary's dream come true.
100%.
Big shot,
Yeah.
dynamite drop in.
What'd you want
All right,
me to
you guys
say?
ready for?
What was
We've
I
got
supposed to
a
do?
voicemail. I don't know. This is a talk show. We're supposed to talk.
I said yes.
I
do you want me to practice my acceptance speech? Because what I would say is
that's a good
thank
idea.
you.
We can just get that from ChatGPT.
I would love that. We need to do let's do a whole episode. Just chat.
If you want to, just tune in.
Just tune into Remy's Roundtable. He already did that. All right, we've got a phone call from the sophisticated gentleman. As always, if you'd like to leave us a voicemail, give us a call, 407-906-0543. Here he is.
All right, NNF squad. I'm here at a business school trying to make that deal I talked about last week to save the podcast for the next 50 episodes. Being here reminds me of one of my favorite TV shows about making deals, Shark Tank. Scott can feel good about this show because it's unscripted, so he doesn't have to worry about underpaid writers protesting too close to his neighborhood and convincing his workers to do the same. After all, imagine if you had to do laundry in the upstairs washer. Jeez. Now, in one of my favorite pitches on the show, in the very first episode of the show ever, Darren Johnson pitched Ionic Ear, which was a Bluetooth implant surgically placed in a person's ear. Seems like a clear-cut yes for me, just like OJ's trial. To charge the device, patients would stick a cable into their body each night. No different than what Chris does, although I think that one's called Viagra. Unfortunately, the Sharks weren't too enthused with this device, and they ended up all deciding that they were out. Robert Herjavec stated that,
Here's insanity, here's genius.
You're somewhere.
Although he was probably talking about a grown man who wears the same shorts without washing them for a month. Still, this pitch had more of a chance than a chipped golf ball ever would. After all, Scott is so much like Kevin O'Leary that as soon as he steps foot in the room, he'd be kicked out for identity theft. Just like Mary getting sued by a pencil. Oh, it looks like my contact is here. He apparently calls himself Faust? It's getting kind of warm in here. I'm not trapped in a garage, right? Just kidding. What kind of a person gets stuck in a garage? There's a contract I'll have to sign with this guy. Well, what could go wrong, right? After all, Scott can help me out if things go badly enough. I've heard he's magical. That's why they call him a grand wizard in Florida. I'll give you guys a call next week to let you know how this deal with, maybe his name is pronounced Satan, works out. What did Kim Jong-un eat for lunch today?
Was the question, what did Kim Jong-un eat for lunch today?
Yes.
That's what I figured. Okay, that's what I thought I heard.
Thank you very much, sophisticated gentlemen. All right, so a sophisticated gentleman referenced garage doors in there. And Chris, last week on After Dark, you talked about your offer that you put into a house, didn't get it. Where are we in the process?
Oh, we're just opening
with
up
the home buyer.
We're just opening up fresh wounds, Scott. Is that what we're
Yeah,
doing?
why not? Why not?
That's fine. Yeah, it's fine. We're basically at square one because I literally can't make this up. Literally just got a text. The house that we were going to look at tomorrow is they're stopping showings, so it's going swimmingly. And that's the type of content you just can't make up, Scott. Like the realtor just texted me, and when I say the realtor just texted me, the realtor emailed Emily, and Emily texted me because she's the boss. She's the one who corresponds with our realtor, even though he's my friend.
Yeah. Same thing in my house. But that's what's crazy about the market right now. You can't even go see a house. It's like if it hits the market and you see the pictures and you're like, oh, I like this, you got to put an offer in.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, waiting to go see it. It's not going to work.
Now, there are houses you can go see, Scott, and we did go see one the other day.
Oh.
And when you go to see these houses and you're telling me what you just said, saying that, these good houses go real quick. Well, keyword good houses.
Right.
So the houses that aren't so good, you can see. So we didn't know that. We look at these pictures.
There's a lot of them in Polk County. It's they have meth labs in them.
This one looked like a meth lab was just removed from this house quickly. So we go to look at this house. It was built in 1935. So you guys don't have a lot of those houses down there. You guys have a lot of like new houses.
No, we weren't a state in 1935.
Exactly, because like you guys weren't civilized until like what 40 years ago.
Right.
So
we're still not civilized, Chris.
We have a lot of houses up here that were built a long time ago. So the crazy thing about that is people were a different size in 1935. And in 1935, I would probably be considered
average,
like Michael Jordan or LeBron James.
Maybe not
when
Muggsy
they were in
Bogues,
middle
maybe
school,
Spud
or?
Webb. So like maybe like just
help me out a
mediocre.
little bit here. Listen. Look up the average height in 1935. Don't do that because it might be very embarrassing.
Oh, I'm gonna do it now.
So anyway, going through a really big rough patch in my life. I really appreciate you guys doing research to humiliate me now. So, we go to look at this house, and it was a flipped house. Do you guys have flippers down there? Or
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we have these
actually
flipper houses,
I don't know
right?
if I've never actually seen like a real I just on TLC like the flipped or
right, exactly. So we go into this house, and beautiful house. When you first walk in, you're looking at like, wow, this is nice. The kitchen's beautiful, new appliances, new paint on the walls, nice beautiful sunroom. And then you start to look instead of just like skimming by. And you're starting to stare at these things like, oh, wow. The red paint that they painted the door with is all over the window as well. It looks like blood just smeared on the window. That would have taken all of 30 seconds to scrape off, but for some reason they didn't. Then you look at the nice paint on the walls, which matches the paint splatter that is now on the floor from the quick paint job that they did. So you had a nice paint splattered floor that matches the painted walls. It was listed as a 3-bedroom house. There was 2 bedrooms on the main floor, and then they categorized the finished attic as a bedroom. You go up there, and it was only 62 degrees out. It was 100 degrees in the attic. It felt like the devil's taint up there. And so, it was the shape of a roof. So, like, you go up and you hit your head as soon as you go up the steps, and you have to bend down to go up there. Like, okay, this is not even habitable, not even by me. So we thought that was short. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? This place is advertised as a full basement. Let's go into the basement. I kid you not, the basement was 1 inch taller than me. There were some. It was a full basement. Oh yeah, it was definitely a full basement. But I don't know what these realtors are doing, taking these wide angle photos of the place to make everything look so much bigger. Because when you go there, it's obviously not like the photos. So you go there, it looks like a 6-foot, 7-foot basement. I go in there and I have to duck under some of these exposed wires that look like they could electrocute and kill me. And then, not advertised on Zillow, to no one's surprise, was a room that looks like they could have tortured Osama bin Laden You go in, and I kid you not, there's just a single light bulb on this pulley, and you pull it, and then it's just all brick. And if there wasn't red rum spelled out in blood on the wall, like, that would have surprised me. It was terrifying. My realtor was, after he saw that house, he's like, we got to get the hell out of here. Like, we can't stay in here. So before we left, we did have to call a priest in and bless the place before we left, because we were scared for our lives. That is the embodiment of our house search. going and seeing that house, it being nothing as advertised. It was advertised beautiful big backyard. The fence was half put up. They left that roll of fencing. I know, Scott, you don't know how to lift a hammer, so I don't know if you ever see like a rolled fence in a Home Depot before.
No,
but
never.
It was there. They halved it, and then they were just like, you know what? We're just gonna leave this here for I guess Halloween. Great looking house for Halloween. Beautiful. You did have to jump when you got up when you went up the first 3 steps to go through the door. You did have to jump from the front of the steps into the house because it was sinking in. So you had to jump over. So I felt kind of like Indiana Jones. I did like that about the house, because I liked how every time you enter the house, it kind of takes a little bit of skill to get in. Like, you can't just be an average Joe walking right in the house. Like, no one's robbing that house, because they're either falling through the front steps or getting possessed by one of the 40 people that's probably died in that house unwillingly. So that is the embodiment of our house search. Like I said, we just found a beautiful home. For a lot cheaper than any of the other houses we looked at, and we were just notified that it is not being shown anymore. So if you or a loved one have room for me and my wife in the South Jersey area, please reach out to us at nonewfriendspodcast.com. If it's larger than 400 square feet, which is where we currently live, we'll take you up on it.
All right. Well, there you go. All right. So please keep us informed on what's going on with this house buying experience, because
yes, I unhappily will.
I know I'm at the edge of my seat right now, trying to, find out what's going on. But
it's got biting his nails in one of his 7 bedrooms in his ass. Oh my gosh! I wonder what's going on.
Exactly.
So, Chris, are you open to suggestions, or for us or our Patreon members to send you homes that they may find that you may love?
Oh, please!
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. If you find a house in the greater Cherry Hill region, please send it my way. And I think Scott's best advice to give me is something that he would never say. Just marry a very wealthy wife. Yes. And then you don't have to worry about any of this
Exactly.
stuff.
That's what I did. But speaking of wives and making them mad and pissing them off, do you...
Where did that come from?
Oh, it's just what I do. Do you guys have, do your spouses have trigger words that it's like, that they're angry with you? So I'll kind of tell you, Ooh. I know when Rachel's like angry, or it's her passive aggressive word, because she's like, it's my day off and I've got to do the, laundry. So it's the, That's the passive aggressive. I better help out. Anybody have Sarah? What? Well, you don't count, Lewis.
Yeah, that's funny.
You and Lewis don't get mad at each other. I don't know why I went there. So when you haven't done the laundry, what is Lewis's like? Okay,
No,
he's a
he
little bit upset
never.
with me.
He never says that. The laundry's still sitting there. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but when we use each other's like names, that's when something's wrong.
Oh.
He'll
We
look at
all
me,
were
you know,
like, oh.
when I say
Oh.
when I say Lewis, he just stops dead in his tracks, stares at me, and did you just say my name?
Question, Sarah.
Yes.
I would love to know your puppy dog names for each other.
That's what Scott calls them.
We
Yeah, I
really
want to
just-
know the. Yeah.
We really just
Yeah.
baby,
Oh.
Poppy, you know.
Gotcha.
Poppy.
I call him
Poppy?
Yeah, I
oh,
call
that's
him
right.
Poppy.
Because he's yeah.
And
I
he
got
says
it.
mommy, you know, but that's
We
just,
all
call
are
Emily
making
mommy.
the same
Way different
faces.
context.
yeah. That's pretty much it though. I call the girls Goose, so sometimes I get Goose.
That's what I
so,
call the.
you know.
I call Grayson Goose.
It's
Yeah.
a weird coincidence.
'Cause
Yeah.
He's a silly goose.
Is that a common
I don't
thing?
know.
I think it is
Should I say
because
my-
I've heard
Should
it.
I call my son Goose?
Sure. I have a
Yeah.
shirt that says "Talk to me, Goose." You know, it's from.
Oh, from like
Top
Top Gun.
Yeah.
Little
Right.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right, Mary.
Yeah.
What is Mike's trigger word when he's angry? And then I want to know what yours is because I feel like you probably have more
Well,
that you use in different contexts.
first of all, clearly Mike Reedy is never upset with me. So let's just get a
Sure.
few things straight. That never happens. How could he be? Ever. But if I maybe am waiting for the laundry fairy to come and he needs boxers, he'll be like, "Don't worry, I will do the laundry." Like, I'll get one of those, you know, like, "Don't worry."
Oh, okay. Don't worry, I've got it.
I got it. Or,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I try. Like, he'll say like an "I'm sorry" before he does something, like, or like presents what he
Yeah,
did. Like,
okay.
that's like his passive aggressive. Like, "I'm sorry." Like, if I'm like, "Hey, I don't know, maybe if he made dinner and the kids, I don't know, I need to grab salt or a sauce or something because they didn't love that it was like grilled chicken." He'll say, "I'm sorry." Like, apologize. But it's real passive aggressive, like.
So maybe like, I'm sorry. How did you spend this much on Temu?
First of all,
Mike Reedy,
I had
2023.
17 orders for $12. Okay, I'm just
Jesus.
kidding. Mine, I don't. Oh, that's it. That's what I do. Like, if somebody's doing something I don't like, I'm like, like, I'll just make noises.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've definitely heard that out of you before. I don't know that that's the best approach.
I don't know if.
Because that's what Mary does. Mary is very like condescending when she's angry. Like, I don't know if that's the best way to
Can
go
you just
on
walk me
this.
through your thought process on this one? Help me understand. If you could. That would be great. Yeah.
Chris, do you and Emily have those trigger words when you know each other
Yes,
is
we're
upset?
millennials, so we have more like trigger text things going on. So not so much anymore. Well, and I say not so much anymore because I want to forget it, but it happens a lot when we were dating still. But whenever you put a period at the end of a sentence,
Yes.
when
Yeah.
texting,
Yes.
like it's like you say I love you, and if it's I love you too with a period, it's like, oh, do you though? Do you like? Do you actually? And yeah, whenever you put a period or and a period with an uncapitalized first word, because you knew they took the time out of their typing to uncapitalize that word. It's just like, oh wow, this is like emphasis. Yeah, you guys understand that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
the
yeah.
period at the end.
Entirely.
You have to do that
Period.
double space. Yeah, you have to do the double space.
Yeah, I actually.
Wait,
so
hold
I
on.
hate
You
the
have to do what
band
double space? You
U2.
just hit period.
Yeah, you have to. No.
No, but if you press space twice,
Yeah.
the period comes up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come on, you
Come on,
boomers.
yeah, right?
I had no idea. This is news to me.
Well, you usually don't send passive aggressive texts to Rachel. Why would you? She never deserves that. So I hate the band U2 So I never say like I love you too because it sounds like I'm saying I love you too and I hate it. So that's how Mike Reedy knows I'm mad at him is if I respond back with I love you too or if I say it. Because then he's like, oh my God, Joshua Tree. Ooh.
Yeah.
You know, like he's like, ee.
But what about using your names? Because it's Sarah and Lewis. I'm the same way. If Rachel calls me Scott, I'm in trouble, and I'm like, wait a second, what? Like, first of all, what did you call me? And then, okay, what did I do? What is it like that in your house as well?
I don't know if Mike Reedy knows my first name. I don't know. He'll call me Mrs. Reedy usually. Yeah, I just usually say babe or Mike Reedy. Like I just call him by his full name.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is I've actually never heard you call him babe. It's always been Mike Reedy.
Yeah,
like even when I've been
Mike
around
Reedy,
you guys.
Could you come over here? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Chris, pet names or like is that something that you know? Like but you call her M all the time. You're like, hey M.
Yeah, I call her M.
Yeah.
Or Emmy. I call her Emmy a lot. And usually in like super strange voices. Like the stranger, the more of a good day we're having. Like if I say if I say it in a normal voice, something's up.
Like okay.
Like I usually talk like Jabba the Hutt. Like Emmy, go babado.
I was gonna ask for an example, but you just
Yeah,
I was gonna give the example, but I didn't think I could do a Yabba.
Yeah. It's basically cosplay 24/7 when we're going good. When we're not, it's just M. And then it's about to get real. Yeah.
Wow.
If I sound like Darth Vader saying M, it's bad. If it's Jabba the Hutt, then we're having a really good day.
And what about, did she could just call you Chris? She just calls you Chris, right?
She usually calls me things I can't really say on the podcast.
Oh.
No, she calls me baby. She doesn't really call me Chris that often. If she says Chris, yes, it's definitely a trigger warning. Or
Okay.
Christopher, I'm in some deep shit.
Oh.
If it's Christopher or Christopher James, then it's like,
No.
I told you to do the laundry. Your mom's now texting me because we share the laundry with my parents. Your mom's now texting me about the laundry. I told you to finish this, Christopher James. And it's like, oh.
Government name.
Then I have to sleep with my parents. So I have to go all the way next door and walk right through and just sleep on the futon that night.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Really?
horror.
See, I get that in a way though, because I can either go with the Luis or I can do Lewis.
See?
So, it could go either way.
So give us examples of when you would use Louise
Yes.
instead of Lewis.
Well, okay. Luis could be used in two different ways.
Okay.
On
Wow.
its own.
I don't want the
Right.
one way with the fist going up in the air. I want the anger way that you would use it.
How would I say it?
No. Come on. You know what I
Or
want to
why
hear.
would I say it?
Why would you
I
say it?
Either or was
Um,
fine.
We've been 6 weeks on this journey of trying to.
I know.
Oh, God damn it.
I honestly can't think of a reason I'm going to have to keep track of
Chris, we're gonna get them to slip. We're gonna find out the
Oh,
Jeez.
juice.
I feel
I know, I
bad
can't
now.
think of
I'm just
anything.
over here yelling
Now
at
I'm
Mike
waiting for
Reedy
him to,
all the
text me.
time.
Scott, did you say we're going to find out the Jews or the juice?
Either is
The juice.
accurate. Either is accurate.
Okay. Just curious.
Sometimes if
I-
Mike tunes me out, I'll be like, Mike Reedy, Michael, and then he'll be like, what? But that's not. I'm not mad. I'm just trying to get attention. It's
I
normal.
definitely do something or say something that elicits the response of Scott Maffei. That's when I know,
Shit.
that's bad. Yeah. And it's usually she's done something or I've said something and she's reacted a certain way and I respond with calm your tits and she says Scott Maffei. It doesn't go over well.
When I hear Christopher, I pop a Xanax immediately.
Probably smart. Wait, but Scott, hold on. What is it? What's whenever you're mad? What does that look like?
I'm never mad.
Scott's not
When am I
allowed to
ever
get
mad?
mad. Scott's not allowed to get mad.
No.
Mary, what
because
does Scott say to you when you say you're not going to make it to an episode?
I know the answer to this. You ready? Nothing. I say nothing. That's my I'm angry. I don't say anything.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, Scott, I'm about to go into surgery. I may not make it because I'll be, unconscious, and he'll just not respond. I'll be like, you know what? You should have tried harder.
Not true. Hold on. Not true. Not true at all. Not true at all.
So you could have brought the phone-in content. You should have had the surgeon on for us.
When it's something like that, I'm like, okay, feel better. And it's when you make a joke afterwards that then I become silent because I'm not laughing.
You know what? Whatever, man.
All right. When we come back, we've got Jersey Man, Florida Man, Chris's Cliff Notes, and so much more. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Hey, everybody. Why don't you give the old Black Lincoln Collective podcast a listen? We're funny, we're fat, and we're here 24/7 at blcpodcast.com. Anytime you want to listen, anywhere, all your favorite podcast apps. Of course, we have a YouTube channel where you can stream live with the show. Check out our shorts. We're funnier the less you hear of us. That's been a Black Lincoln Collective podcast at blcpodcast.com.
Picture it, St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The air grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is, Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary. I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF, as in No New Friends, and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
This is the No New Friends podcast, and I am Carlos Alberto Navarro, bro, listening to No New Friends podcast, and I'm out, bro.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. You know, we didn't talk about Manscaped at all today, but I've got freshly shaven balls. I use my Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. It's got that patented ceramic technology, so there's no nicks, there's no cuts or anything like that. It's been working great. Chris has a purple one. It's got a purple light on.
Scott, it does, and I to this day, Emily text me, are you watching Black Panther? I said, no, I'm just using my limited edition purple Manscaped because I do the Wakanda Forever salute with screaming Wakanda Forever while I use it. I did want to ask you, do you try to nick yourself? Because I try, it just doesn't work.
No, in fact, I could probably be a little bit more, aggressive with the shaving, but I'm still so paranoid because I've had some nicking issues in the past. So I'm like doing in the movie Waiting with the bat, I'm like stretching the skin out so that I could flatten it instead of like go. And there's pictures of going around like a round surface. I don't trust that. I don't trust the pictures. So
I'm glad you mentioned a movie because have you guys ever seen Kill Bill?
No.
Yes. Talk about aggression. I'm Kill Bill aggression when I go manscaping. And I'll tell you what, I've never felt better. No nicking.
No nicking.
Carry on, my wayward son.
Yeah.
No nicking.
So if you want to have freshly shaven, unnicked balls, just check out manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF for 20% off your purchase. Speaking of balls, are you guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Yes.
I'm ballin'.
Always. You're ballin'.
Whether flipping a fan boat or crashing a truck, these states are filled with people who suck. So it's time for us to play New Jersey Man versus Florida Man.
Every week, Ryan brings us 2 news stories. One is from Jersey, one is from Florida. It is up to us to figure out which one is which. Take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan, coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom located this week at a laundromat. I will say when I first walked in here, I thought I might be at Scott's house with a number of washers and dryers in here. Scott, are you so lazy that you can't even get up and ask the help to go downstairs to wash your laundry? Speaking of Scott, he's here at the laundromat. I guess his wife doesn't want him washing those disgusting cargo pants at the house. Looks like he's got a couple other things to wash while he's here too. Looks like he's got a lot of dog hair and stains to wash out of his comforter. He's also washing like 5 chef coats. I don't know why he's got so many. He sure as hell doesn't know how to cook. And apparently the underwear he's washing was before he had the Manscaped lawnmower. Judging by all the blood stains from the nicks and cuts. Hope he remembered to mark that in his period tracker app. Mary stopped by. She was looking for her laundry fairy. I know one thing. Mary's laundry fairy won't be folding a No New Friends t-shirt. Way to represent, Mary. I'm trying not to talk too loud because Sarah's over there curled up sleeping in a pile of clothes like a cat. And here comes Chris. I didn't know that Chris even owned enough clothes to make a load of laundry. Looks like all his clothes have dinosaurs or monster trucks on them because he has to shop in the children's section. He's mumbling something about how all his clothes are shrunk. That's right, Chris. Blame the clothes. By the way, you're folding all your wife's laundry inside out. Anyways, while I watch Scott spend all of his wife's quarters, let's get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey Man. And in our first story, police are called after an irate man uses a toaster to attack a fellow resident at a group home.
Oh.
And in our second story, a man is arrested for hiding cameras in a Boy Scouts camp.
All right. Oh. Let's.
Wow.
I have an answer right away
Go for
for
it.
this,
Go
Scott.
for it.
So I'll kick this off. So Ryan mentions an irate man. I don't know what ethnicity that is, but if they're not white, they're definitely not in Florida. So I'm going to say the irate man is in New Jersey. So that would mean that the other one would be New Jersey.
You just said both of them were New Jersey.
The Boy Scout.
So
Peeping Tom.
the other one would be Florida.
Okay, there you go.
Because I do not want to be associated with peeping toms.
There you go. Mary,
Magic of editing.
Mary, what are your thoughts?
You know, I think that I'm going to have to agree with Chris, but for different reasons. I just feel like there's probably a lot more Boy Scouts and pedophilia in Florida, so I'm going to go with that. Yeah. People are angry in Jersey, too, for good reason.
Sarah, your thoughts?
I'm stumped. I'm gonna go Toaster, Florida, Boy Scouts jersey.
So this is a tough one for me because when in doubt, sex crimes are always Florida. But camping in Florida is goddamn miserable with all the mosquitoes and the heat. And I feel like there's better places to camp in Jersey. So I'm going to go Boy Scout Camp Jersey and Toaster Man, Florida. Let's find out the answers.
So our first story is from Florida, where police are called after a 20-year-old has a verbal argument with a man who assaulted his mother. He threw a chair at him. He said he wanted to toast him, so he grabbed a toaster and swung it by the cord, hitting the other man. Scott's wife's been throwing toasters at him every time he takes a shower. But from what I can tell, that's not very often. So that means our second story is from New Jersey, where a 69-year-old man is arrested after hiding cameras in a Boy Scout's bathroom.
Nice.
Chris, you might want to check your apartment for hidden cameras. You're really this guy's type. And they say the camera adds 10 pounds, so I'm thinking he might have hid 5 or 6 cameras in your apartment. And in other news, a missing woman survives on lollipops and a bottle of wine for 5 days stranded in the Australian bush.
Sounds like Mary.
A bag of lollipops and a bottle of wine wouldn't last 5 minutes with any of the hosts of this podcast. Anyways, that's it for me this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
Can I put a disclaimer out real quick. So during the second reading of the news, I did say nice. That was about the number 69, not about the putting the cameras in little boys. I said nice and then immediately regretted it when you continued the story.
I watched your entire facial expression change. You said nice.
No.
Yeah.
Nice.
I now guess Chris is into pedophilia just by being on this podcast for too long. So,
I mean, technically we all are by connection.
yeah, right. Before we get to Cliff's
Thanks.
notes, so something happened last night. Well, first of all, I had to be up at 3:30 in the morning this morning. So I went to bed later than normal. It was about 10 o'clock. And I you not, the stars were aligned. The moon was aligned. The planets, everything was aligned. And at 11:30 at night, from 11:30 to 11:31, I got laid.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
Wow, which dog?
But of course, it's... I missed it completely. Son of a bitch. Anyway.
Was in the bed. That's what I was asking. Which one was there?
But anyway, of course, it was at 11:30 at night when I had to be up at 3:30. So I was exhausted today. Chris, that's why I missed your call. I had to take a nap when I got home from work. And so
Figured,
here we
yeah.
are.
I just thought it was because you were old, though, not because you got laid.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little more likely. It's because of his age.
Yeah.
Fine, yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Really excited.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
Chris,
Well, that should
go ahead.
hold you over for at least another year.
Well, no, that'll hold her over for another year. I'll be, she'll be fine. She's like, all right, met my quota for the year. Check. I have the period tracking app to track the hearts and all that. She's got the quota thing. Anyway, Chris, you got any Cliff's notes?
I do.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day. The Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
So I do want to just bring this up real quick before I do get into these Cliff Notes. That you have this episode, I believe you started calling it Cliff's Notes instead of Cliff Notes.
Yeah, isn't it Cliff's Notes?
I hate that.
I hate it too, but it's
I
called
hate
Cliff's
that.
Notes.
Oh, it's horrible.
I called them Cliff Notes, and then you put it on the T-shirt, Cliff's Notes, and I'm like, oh, I get it's Cliff's Notes.
Yeah, it's Cliff's Notes. Yeah, it's horrible because Chris's Cliff's
There's
Notes.
too many possessions
horrible.
there.
Oh, way too many.
Yeah,
way too many. But anyway, I do have a few of Cliff's Notes that I.
When you can't say Chris's
No.
Chris's notes.
Like, I wish it was just named after a cliff and not a guy named Cliff.
Right.
You know?
Well, there is a cliff on the book.
Right, which doesn't make any sense. It's just a hyperbole. I don't know what a hyperbole is, but it sounds like it would fit there. So anyway.
We should do that way. We should do one episode where we just use literary terms incorrectly. Like, oh, Chris, that was a haiku.
I can't, guys. I'm sick that day. I can't do it.
Yeah, that will pain Mary. She won't be able to do that at all.
I can't do it.
All right. So anyway, here's the notes I stole from Cliff. So the other day, true story. I like to start these off with a true story sometimes. And this is the first time. So I was sitting in my living room the other day and the new Transformers trailer came on. There's like all these like a gorilla transformer now, and it scared the out of my dog, right? So my dog starts barking and terrified. And it got me thinking like, man, if Transformers, Scott, especially you, like, because I know you're, afraid of working on cars and stuff. Scott, wouldn't it be terrifying to you if Transformers were actually real in real life?
Terrifying.
Like, that'd be terrifying.
Yes, terrifying.
Right. I kind of figured you'd think that since you're transphobic. So anyway.
Wow. Wow. This is the one. This is the one that gets us canceled.
What?
We're doing all of this diversity and inclusion and acceptance.
Sorry, my dog, nice for pedophilia, so I don't know.
Wow.
Wow. So anyway, away from real stuff, we started off the show with an ode to mothers because Mother's Day was last week. And on this podcast alone, we have a plethora of mothers. Mary's a mother. Sarah's a bonus mother. I'm a disappointment to my mother, and Scott's a mother.
That's great.
No, but seriously, Mother's Day is awesome. You take your mom and you wait on them hand and foot. You cook for them. You don't let them move a muscle. For one day a year, we get to treat our mothers like men.
That was a really good one.
We then went on to the awkwardness of giving money, as birthday gifts and cards. When you open the card, you have to pretend that you don't see the money when you're looking at the card. It's kind of like when Scott sees a black person in his neighborhood. It kind of has to just pretend that he doesn't see them.
You don't know. Should you call? Should you make a call to the police or just ignore it? Should you wave? Should you hold your... I don't know what to do. What do you do?
You have to pretend. You just have to pretend you don't see them, Scott.
I just quickly look away.
So, later on in the episode, the sophisticated gentleman asked us what Kim Jong-un ate for lunch today. And I think I actually have an answer today to that question. I know it's, answers questions that you don't want to answer, but I do have an answer today. I can assure you it was way more than all of his people combined, but way less than me. We talked about how trigger warnings affect us when our spouses call us by our names. It's terrifying. Now, Scott, on the other hand, is thankful that Rachel finally remembers his name. So it's not so much of a trigger. Yeah, not so much of a trigger for him.
Wow.
We talked about how Mary, one of her trigger warnings for Mike is talking in a condescending tone. Scott's actually is very similar. I texted him the other day. I said, my depression is really getting to me. I really don't know if I'm going to make the episode. He texts me back and goes, whoa, are you really that depressed?
It sounds like something I would do.
And lastly, we went on to talk about more trigger words when our spouses are angry. Scott's wife's trigger words are, but his lover's trigger word is, and those are my comments.
Nice job.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
Oh, that was really funny. Is Mary okay?
No. Just the bark itself. Can we make that into a soundbite? Please. Alex, help.
Emily's trying to sleep now. It's like really
She's
good.
trying to
really
sleep
good
and all she
moment.
hears is this is fine. We're fine. Yeah, okay.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation. Right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark, much of
Hey, it's Alex from Diz His. You know me, you know Joe, you definitely know Chris, and you know Jen. Well, we're the hosts of Diz His, the Disney History Podcast. Every week we take one Disney subject and go over the history, as well as our insight on the subject. We talk about other Disney topics, as well as what's new in the news. You can find us on all podcast platforms, or go to our website, dizhiz.com. That's DIZHIZ.com. And we're on all social media at DizHiz65.
Chris, what do you got coming up on Diz Is?
Scott, I've been doing a lot of research lately, and there's...
So now you're anti-vax. You've been doing your own research, no masks, anti-vax.
Well, it not necessarily, but it's really hard to convey this the right way, because I know when I say this, I will get a lot of backlash. I know that Joe Rogan goes on his podcast and he talks about, I feel like I'm this way because I've researched a lot, and I'm an expert on this, and at this point in my life, I just feel like I'm ready to say this because I just really think it's the greater thing in life. Scott, I think I'm a white supremacist.
Oh, okay. Please
so proud.
definitely
He's so
explain
proud.
and
Look at
explain
him. He's like,
quickly.
wow.
Yeah, welcome to the club. No,
Tell Daddy Wizard more.
explain and explain quickly.
I didn't know your heritage traced back to white supremacy, Scott. So I've been doing a lot of research at the 23andMe thing. I did see that a lot of my relatives were of white descent, right? So I figured that white supremacy, a lot of people just don't talk about it a lot anymore. So when I Googled it, I found that it's a really beautiful place to visit. Why? I don't really understand the laughter because it's something that my heritage traces back from. A lot of my relatives are from White England, WIGHT England.
Okay.
I really don't understand. Oh my gosh, you thought I was talking about like the color of my skin. Oh my goodness,
like the
great.
mountains of Caucasia.
No, my gosh, no. White England, it looks like a beautiful, beautiful place. And I really want to visit there because a percentage of my heritage is from white United Kingdom. Oh, you guys are so mature. WIGHT. A supremacist of the town of what were you guys even? Oh, you guys are from Florida. You're thinking of the Tiki Torch. White
Yeah, I was going to get you the pamphlet from the Florida Welcome Center.
No. We don't think like that up here. We can no. See, I'm up from up north, and that's just a town in England. So I have a lot of English heritage, and I really want to go on a European cruise, and I want to stop over in England. So who helps you with that? Nick from Sandpiper Vacations helps me with that. I go to sandpipervacations.com. I say, hey, I want to check out White England, not some kind of clan that you guys are talking about. And now I realize, now I'm disgusted because when I said that, Scott was like really excited for me and really happy. I was not talking about what you were thinking, Scott. I'm sorry. But listen, if you want to visit my heritage over in England, go to sandpipervacations.com. Tell them that a New Friends podcast sent you. If you're another one of those white supremacists, you can go yourself. You're gonna have to You're gonna have to bleep that.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna have to bleep a lot this week.
Yeah, this is an intense one. Oh, Scott got so excited. He was buying you some khaki pants online.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
No. I'm a supremacist of my heritage over in England. Sorry, Scott. Not from the deep South United States. Not from there, sir. Anyway, this week on Disney's, we talk about Daisy Duck. I hate Daisy Duck.
Oh,
wow.
She's horrible.
That is a hot
She's
take.
horrible. I had, as my background, I made a little Photoshop thing. It said F Daisy Duck. And as the U, it was Daisy. Really just not a fan. I think it's pandering towards women. I think it was a cash grab. And I also brought up the point, hopefully Alex keeps in the show, why isn't there interspecies relationships? Why does Donald Duck have to date a duck?
Oh.
It's a good point.
It is a good point.
That's a good point. If he keeps it in, we break that down in next week's episode. So please listen. It's just me and Alex. We're flying solo because Joe had some technical difficulties. It's a really fun show. Alex and I had a lot of fun talking about Daisy. He had more fun than me because I hate Daisy Duck. But yeah, it was a fun show. It was definitely a fun show.
You know what's interesting, real quick, and I don't want to go deep into this topic, but I actually stopped watching Family Guy because the dog Brian having human girlfriends made me uncomfortable.
What? Oh, because he's scamming on.
Because he was a dog having sex with humans. And
but it's okay for you.
No, I don't have sex with my dog. I just have sex with the dog in the bed. That still didn't come
You
up.
just have sex with a dog by association.
Anyway, you can connect with DizHiz65 on all social media. Check them out, DizHiz.com. Their episodes come out every Tuesday night. We've got some other amazing podcasts to tell you about. Our second episode of the week, No New Friends podcast, After Dark Edition, comes out every Wednesday night. You can check that out about anywhere between 7 and 9. Depends on when I decide to publish it. Also, Don't Wreck Yourself, where Ryan takes on some of the topics that are wrecking the internet. The Black Lincoln Collective podcast, two funny guys just talking about random stuff. Also, from Ashes to Awesome podcast, Chuck Phalange talks about the rise from the ashes in the journey of recovery. Chris, what podcast do you want to tell us about tonight?
I want to talk about a YouTube channel, first of all. Big Beautiful Diz. Our friend Dane just actually took a trip down to Disney, and he's posting his vlogs of his daily trips down there. Super fun channel if you love Disney. Second, I want to talk about Studio 21. We got Big Country and C Money breaking down weekly baseball. And lastly, we have the podfather himself, Remy from Remy's Roundtable, talking about all things theme parks in Florida. So if you love Florida and you love theme parks, that's a podcast for you.
Awesome. And then the hiatus seems to skip ahead 2 weeks every week. So a mental health moment with Dr. Edward Samaro, that's what, coming back in 2 weeks, Mary?
I have no idea. Probably.
And Sarah, what does Lewis have coming up on the Nerd Archive podcast?
He's talking about some of the new games coming out. Jedi Survivor and Zelda, talking about some of the new movies and TV shows coming out. So, and some fan theories.
Ooh.
So that should be cool. I know.
Awesome. All right.
Very exciting.
Check them out. Also, check out our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links to all of our social media is there. You can join our clubhouse, become a friend with benefits, and watch all of our recordings live as they happen, gain access to cutting room floor, all the exclusive material, and then check out our sweet merchandise. It's some really cool stuff. Vote for us for Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition under the category Local Notables. Best Local Podcast, that's vote.orlandoweekly.com. And then also Mary Reedy for Best Local Big Shot. On behalf of this sophisticated gentleman, Game Master Ryan, our producer, Alex, Sarah, Chris, Mary, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.